perfect opportunity to respond.
Robertson for Mane, and Liverpool leading next to no time. Lashed in front of Gladys Street by Sadio Mane.
As far as leading men go, I think it's fair to say that Virgil van Dijk is one of the key characters of his day. The defender getting injured would not have been rehearsed, and for those on the red half of Merseyside, had good reason to fear the worst. Virgil van Dijk suffered knee ligament damage, and the blow to the Reds that they could not disparage.
In by James, Key with the header, and Everton level. We've got a derby here. Henderson out by Mina, smashed back by Salah. Dean. Calvert-Lewin! The big boy comes up trumps again. And Everton are level again.
These Merseyside derbies are never short of a goal, but red cards also seem to take their toll. For a tackle on Thiago Richarlison saw red, before the chance fell to Jordan Henderson to put the game to bed.
Thiago, little blind pass for Mane, and swept in by Henderson! The Skippers won it for the Reds in stoppage time! Provided Mane was onside when he received this pass. To deny this goal would be to break red hearts. Red hearts have been broken.
Fine margins, a game of goals, reds and ultimately frustration. A result overshadowed by Van Dijk's lengthy stint in rehabilitation.
Spurs led 3-0 against West Ham after just 16 minutes. It looked as if Jose Mourinho's side would cruise to victory. The Hammers left it late, but they came back, with Manuel Lanzini scoring a superb equaliser. Ecstasy on the touchline, David Moyes celebrating his return with a dramatic draw. Aston Villa had avoided relegation on the final day of last season, but the 1-0 win at Leicester City was their fourth consecutive victory, suggesting they wouldn't be in the same position this time around. Michail Antonio's overhead kick was another highlight in a tough run of fixtures for West Ham, as they drew 1-1 with Manchester City. Just 2 wins after 5 league games, it was Pep Guardiola's worst ever start to a season. Jurgen Klopp's side took advantage later in the day, Liverpool coming back from a goal down to win 2-1 against Sheffield United. The Blades had now lost 5 of their opening 6 Premier League games. A year to the day since Southampton were beaten 9-0 by Leicester, the Saints inflicted a first defeat of the season upon league leaders Everton. That 2-0 victory moved Ralph Hasenhüttl's men up to 6th. When Jamie Vardy came on, it was 0-0 between Arsenal and Leicester. Vardy scored his 6th of the campaign, and the Gunners slumped to their 3rd defeat in 4 league matches. In match week 7, Kyle Walker struck the only goal against his boyhood club as Manchester City beat Sheffield United. Later that evening, a second nationwide lockdown was announced by British Prime Minister Boris Johnson as coronavirus cases continued to rise in the UK. Liverpool came from behind again, this time beating West Ham 2-1. Summer signing Diogo Jota grabbed the winner. He'd now scored for the 3rd straight game in all competitions for the Reds. So, at the end of October, champions Liverpool were top of the table despite losing 7-2 at Villa Park. Everton, Wolves and Chelsea made up the top 4. Aston Villa and Leicester were just below them. The bottom 4 were still looking for their first wins of the season. Manchester United, in 15th place, were suffering the effects of that 6-1 defeat. Arsenal were also in the bottom half.
November began with a thriller at Villa. 2 free kicks from Southampton's set-piece maestro James Ward-Prowse helped them to a 4-0 lead. But Dean Smith's men battled back with a flurry of goals that ensured Saints' 4-3 win was far from comfortable. In Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 100th game in charge of Manchester United, he admitted his side weren't at the races. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang held his nerve to clinch Arsenal's first away victory at one of the Big Six since 2015. Week 7 also gave Fulham something to celebrate. Finally their first win, beating West Brom 2-0 at Craven Cottage to climb out of the bottom 3 at the expense of the Baggies. An unusual season saw another unfamiliar name at the summit. Ralph Hasenhüttl's Southampton hit the top of the Premier League by weaving their way to a 2-0 success against Newcastle in match week 8. After Manchester United suffered a midweek defeat to Istanbul Başakşehir in the Champions League, Everton ramped up the pressure on Solskjaer. His players responded to falling behind with 2 goals from Bruno Fernandes and a first in United colours for Edinson Cavani, denying Everton the opportunity to take top spot. Tottenham did achieve that thanks to Harry Kane's 150th Premier League goal, enough to see off a stubborn West Brom. But Spurs' supremacy was short-lived, as Leicester immediately made their entrance into the fight to be number 1. Jamie Vardy's 8th goal in 7 games sent Wolves packing and lifted the Foxes above Spurs.
November 2020, Manchester City versus Liverpool.
It's the game everyone looks forward to with great expectation, the players and the fans.
With fans or with no fans, City and Liverpool will be a special game. Now we have to defend the Premier League World Champions, so we are excited about the game, and I'm sure they are.
The best seats in the house, 98, 99, 100 points. Both teams had competed for that trophy and won it in the last 3 seasons. One of them may win it this year too.
Robertson. Tiny turn from Mane, who's had his ankle clipped, and Liverpool have a penalty. In the game that matters most. Salah, certain! And the Champions lead on blue territory. Now De Bruyne, his favourite little pocket. And in for Jesus, oh, that's sumptuous! How cute was that? He is a clever, clever boy. And he's dragged City level.
Kevin De Bruyne, one of the game's true artists. The Belgian involved again as his cross struck the arm of Joe Gomez, giving De Bruyne the chance to grasp the lead for those in sky blue from the penalty spot.
And De Bruyne has rolled it wide. Blink, pinch yourself and wonder whether you really saw that. Kevin De Bruyne from 12 yards has entirely missed the target.
A pulsating first half didn't live up to expectations after the interval. 1-1 the final score.
In the final fixture before November's international break, Aston Villa's impressive start to the campaign gained momentum. Their 3-0 win at the Emirates was a 4th defeat of the season for an increasingly concerned Mikel Arteta. It never rains, but it pours. Away from football, the month brought groundbreaking news. Results from the world's first coronavirus vaccine showed it was more than 90% effective in protecting people from COVID. Back on the pitch, Chelsea earned a 3rd consecutive league win to move up to 2nd in the table. Coming up trumps 2-0 on Tyneside against Newcastle.
Winter was coming. The bright, vibrant ball in use. A metaphor, maybe. 8 games in and dizzy heights for Tottenham. Just a point behind the league leaders when they faced Manchester City. Jose Mourinho working his magic. I mean, that's why they brought him in.
Sifted through here for Son, whose finishes short. And Tottenham are ahead inside 5 minutes. And Tottenham have a view of the very top. This is Giovanni Lo Celso. It's 2-0 Tottenham. Immediate. Extraordinary. Genius, Jose. Genius.
Tottenham top of the table, Tottenham top of the table, Tottenham top of the table. Hard to say for some. Spurs 2 points clear after 9 games. Tottenham 2, Man City 0. JKL for Liverpool. The Reds had certainly shown they had their flaws this season, and going into this one they had most of their cast missing. No Salah, Van Dijk, Gomez, Alexander-Arnold, Henderson or Thiago. Maybe L could stand for Leicester, or league leaders. The Foxes would go top if they could get a win at Anfield.
You know, they're not fazed by being at the top of the table. They've been there and done it before, so they have experienced players, and we know how good their manager is as well, so it'll be a big test for us. As for goals, hopefully there's goals at one end and not the other.
Milner giving his teammates the sign, firing it in. It's a brilliant start for Liverpool, and it has a tangible reward with an own goal from Johnny Evans. It's a picture book second goal, magnificently put away by Diogo Jota. Here comes from Milner, headed towards goal, is in for 3. And finally Roberto Firmino has his goal, so richly deserved.
A night that would go down in Anfield history. A club record 64th home league game unbeaten for Liverpool, and a win that took Jurgen Klopp's men level on points with Tottenham at the top of the table. Liverpool 3, Leicester City 0.
Manchester City got back to their brilliant best by demolishing Burnley 5-0 at the Etihad, with 3-goal Riyad Mahrez earning himself the match ball into the bargain. Things were looking up for West Brom. Conor Gallagher's first Premier League goal secured their first Premier League win since promotion against Sheffield United, who'd now lost 9 of their first 10. A fractured skull ended the season very prematurely for Wolves' Raul Jimenez, an injury which overshadowed the result at Arsenal. The Mexican's teammates sit him proud at the Emirates, making off with the points by winning 2-1 to have home boss Mikel Arteta fending off questions about his future. Tight in the title race at the end of November, with Tottenham and Liverpool jostling for pole position and the top 4 separated by only 3 points. Manchester United were down in 9th, albeit with a game in hand. Sheffield United had set themselves a daunting task with just a single point on the board. 2 points covered the 3 places above them, while Arsenal were languishing 14th, having lost half their matches.
A gift in December. In round 11, supporters were permitted in Premier League stadiums for the first time since March. 2,000 home fans were present at the London Stadium, but their long-awaited return wasn't rewarded as West Ham lost 3-1 to Manchester United. 2,000 supporters at Stamford Bridge saw their side go top of the table as Chelsea beat Leeds 3-1. Olivier Giroud struck again after netting 4 times against Sevilla in the Champions League in midweek. It wasn't going to plan for Slaven Bilic, though. West Brom suffered a 7th defeat of the season, losing 5-1 at home to Crystal Palace. It was the first time in the top flight that the Eagles had scored 5 goals on the road. The Baggies were still being propped up by Sheffield United, who thought they'd earned a point against Leicester, until Jamie Vardy's 90th minute winner. The Blades were the only side in English League football yet to win a game.
Tottenham and Arsenal, an intense battle for North London pride. But it was the man from South Korea to get Spurs off the mark from 30 yards.
And Son went for goal and scored beautifully. That is one belter of a derby goal from Son Heung-min. on. Kane! The king of the manor! He has thrusted it off the bar, and no man in the history of this famous fixture has scored more often than Harry Kane of Tottenham Hotspur.
It's a great result, and I think, we send the signal for the Premier League, and we have to keep this confidence because I think we have the team to stay in the top of the league.
Jose Mourinho, top of the league? We've heard that before. But it was new territory for Tottenham Hotspur. A 2-0 win in the game that matters most.
Fans filled the Kop at Anfield for the first time since Liverpool won the title, and the Reds put on a show, beating Wolves 4-0 to go level on points with Spurs at the top of the table, and prompting the trademark Jurgen Klopp fist pump. In the same week that the UK began its COVID-19 vaccine rollout, the blue half of Merseyside welcomed their fans back to Goodison Park. Everton beat Chelsea 1-0 thanks to Gylfi Sigurdsson's penalty, Frank Lampard's side squandering the opportunity to go top. In North London, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang finally scored his first home goal of the campaign, but unfortunately for him and the 2,000 Arsenal fans watching on, it was at the wrong end. The Gunners were beaten 1-0 by Burnley. That left Arsenal 5 points above the bottom three. In the midweek round, Chelsea once again failed to take the chance to go top of the table, this time slipping to a 2-1 defeat at Molineux. Pedro Neto's 95th minute winner for Wolves condemned Frank Lampard's men to back-to-back defeats. Manchester City still hadn't got into their groove. Pep Guardiola's men dropped more points in a 1-1 draw with promoted club West Brom. A good result for the Baggies, but not good enough to save their manager. The following day, Slaven Bilic was sacked, with the club 19th in the table. His replacement needed no introduction. Sam Allardyce, so often called upon to save Premier League clubs, took charge of an 8th different team in the division. Fellow promoted side Leeds United continued to earn plaudits with a 5-2 win against Newcastle. Patrick Bamford with his 9th of the season amongst 5 different goal scorers.
Liverpool and Tottenham were in pole positions 1 and 2 when they met at Anfield. 12 games in, 25 points each. Klopp and Mourinho battling it out to be top of the tree at Christmas.
Jones, Firmino, Curtis Jones. And Salah! It's dropped in! And the Kop has something to embrace. Someone familiar to embrace.
I think the first goal we conceded was very, very unlucky. And then we have the quality up front to make the difference.
It's Son Heung-min, it's 1-1. Spurs have picked the Liverpool pocket. That is what they do, that is how they do it.
We were very threatening, and with a little bit more of luck, we could have scored more.
Tottenham toe-to-toe with the elite, but when fans fill the Kop, you can never be sure of coming away with anything from Fortress Anfield. 90th minute, up-stepped Bobby from Brazil.
Hudson takes, and Liverpool lead! Bobby Firmino! Catch him if you can! He is headed for the Kop! A goal for the people! A massive goal! A huge leap! A dagger to Jose's heart.
A few choice words from the special one at full time. Jose justified to think that he should have come away with something. No need to read the script. Liverpool perfect at Anfield and top of the league. 2-1 the final score. Saturday, 19th of December. Bad news from Boris Johnson as a new strain of COVID-19 was identified in the UK. The Prime Minister announced tighter restrictions as London and the South East entered the new Tier 4. Fans once again were not allowed in Premier League stadiums as a result. Crystal Palace from Croydon were amongst those affected as they welcomed Liverpool. With or without fans, sometimes champions can show their class and you just have to sit back and admire greatness.
Here's Minamino! What a fantastic start for Liverpool and for Takumi Minamino. There's Firmino into Mane, quick feet, wonderful goal from Sadio Mane. Here goes Andy Robertson. And here is Roberto Firmino, wonderful breakaway goal. Henderson, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant goal from Liverpool. They are playing some sumptuous stuff today. It's a lovely ball to Roberto Firmino, who took it well, and Liverpool have scored 5. Well, this is a show of the champions at their very best today. Corner whipped in towards Matip, but nudged in then by Salah. Salah. It's gone for a cover! That may well be the pick of the bunch. A sensational 7 for Liverpool.
7 heaven for Liverpool. An emphatic statement of intent ensured the Reds would top the table at Christmas once again. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 7.